What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another third-party review. But before we get started, I want to take a second to shout out my good friend Chris, who's actually a friend of mine from back at home. And he's just pretty recently gotten into really making a push to make a lot of YouTube videos. And yeah, he's covering a lot of stuff. He goes from Transformers to import Japanese stuff like your Kamen Riders and such. And even board games, and don't even start me there. I've been spending a lot of money on board games recently. Yeah, and like I said, his channel is still relatively new. He's growing, and I think he deserves more subs and views than he's got. So if you get a chance, check him out. The link is going to be in the description below. And you know what? Let's put T-Spray here. And if I can figure out this annotation thing, I'm going to put it right between my fingers. Like magic. So yeah, check him out. I think he's well worth checking out, and yeah, just, hopefully you enjoy it. So this is the Maketoys Sea Spray. I do not have the Power Glide of this set. I was not very interested in it, and then a friend of mine got the set of 2, and I've always kind of liked Power Glide. He was one of the few mini-bots I had as a kid. I had a yellow Cliff Jumper and Sea Spray, and I think that was it for my mini-bots. But yeah, so I was kind of fond of this because it's very G1, very G1. The thing is, he is very small. Here is your Classics Bumblebee, who is another mini-bot. And yeah, I don't know what scale they were building this to, but it is just absurdly small. Even their competitors here is the iGear one, is a bit bigger. Now, I guess they were trying to go for... Well, I don't know why you would try to go for the scale set by the iGear Huffer, but that's the only thing I can really think of. I guess he does look pretty good next to, well, in at least robot mode, next to your standard deluxe figures, but we'll pull some of that stuff in later. Transforming this guy is pretty simple, though it does have its moments where it's a little bit strange. You pull out this bottom piece here, and the first thing right away that I'm not a big fan of is that this waist piece doesn't lock, so he always does this weird flop. Next thing you're going to do, just kind of bring his feet up and separate him. Now it comes to his shoulders, and this always gives me some trouble. You're supposed to rotate these down, and you can see it's on the ball joint here, and it just fell right off. I mean, super simple, and it just popped right off that joint like that. And then the next thing I find is, even when it's down, you hardly have enough clearance for this yellow piece. If you can see that, it really just hits that. So when you're trying to rotate this back, you're probably going to shoot that arm off anyway. I haven't found a good way to do that without it at least popping off one of the 2 arms. But you bring it all the way back, like so. And then you find your arm wherever it went flying across the room. And you reattach it. He's got the little elbow joints here, and you spin his head around. And that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a nice representation of Sea Spray. Really small, very back heavy. Cause check this out. Yeah, he doesn't really want to stand very well, so you kind of have to get him in some weird poses to actually make him stand mostly okay. He's doing okay now, but that's most definitely not how most people hold their legs. But he's not bad. So let's run through the articulation with this guy real quick. You got that really awkward waist. You got the legs that are on a ball joint but kind of hindered from the socket there. You only get a little bit of in and out motion. Nice knee because of the ball joint. Nice lower foot, but not much of an ankle tilt there. Head is, I don't know if it's just loose or ball jointed. I think it's just loose, and I think it's just a swivel. I really do think that they have a pretty great face sculpt on it, though, considering how small he is. Arms kind of go up and down because of the transformation and the ball joint, and you have the elbow here, and that's about all you're getting out of this guy. Really, he's not bad, but he was priced rather expensive, which is why I never got him and Power Glide. I just happened to get this one for what I felt was a reasonably good price. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have bought him. But he is really small. In fact, here is our Classics B mold, masquerading as bumper here, so you can see just how small he is, considering that Bumblebee and Bumper are another mini-bot. We'll bring in the competitor, the iGear Sea Spray, and honestly, when it comes down to it, I think this is the better Sea Spray. This is a better G1 alt mode, but overall this is the better Sea Spray in my opinion. So let's back this camera up a little bit here, because I've got more size comparisons to do. One thing that was mentioned was, could I start putting more classics in? So your wish is my command. There is Optimus Prime here, and we'll just move this like that, and we'll put in the Stepper / Jazz mold. And I think that these guys are a good mini bot compared to your deluxe, though it wouldn't have hurt my feelings if they were the same size as Bumblebee. And let's take these guys away real quick. And one thing that was asked previously is, how big is that pipes compared to your deluxe Optimus? So let's go ahead and make a size comparison of that too. And you can see I've done a little bit of paint touching up on my pipes to make them a bit more interesting looking. And why the heck not? Here's the Cubex Huffer in here too. So yeah, now you can see Pipes is almost the same size as Optimus. So yeah, while the Sea Spray from Maketoys is a pretty decent figure, it's not great at anything it does, and I mean, I guess it's small and fits in with your classic shelf, but it feels just a little too small. I even think the iGear one feels too small, but at least feels a little better than the Maketoys one. It's a pretty decent high quality build, that's not a problem, but it's just too... They were asking too much money for it, in my opinion, when it came out, and I know Power Glide's about the same size, so yeah, there wasn't really any reason for me to pick it up until I could get it from a friend for a good price who didn't want them. So yeah, this is T2RX6. Do me a favor, check out my friend Chris's YouTube channel, the link in the description below, and I'll see you guys next week.